So I'm Elizabeth Williams Riley, and who I am is one of those questions that most people spend a lifetime trying to figure out, and I am evolving. And every time I have an opportunity to have a new experience, it redefines and reshapes and helps me reimagine who I am. But nothing more important than the time that I had a chance to sit at Dr. Maya Angelou's kitchen table at her apartment on the west side in New York when she asked me, Miss Williams, tell me about your journey. And it made me really think about my journey from this girl that grew up in a small town called Orlando, Florida, where nobody knows about but Mickey and his friends, and it's full of magic. Well, that's where I'm from. And I'm a rare breed there because most people that live there aren't from there. So I happen to have deep roots there in my family and friends and everyone I know. I spent most of my life there until I was in my early 20s and moved to take a career change and to take advantage of an opportunity that would land me in the big city. I would have a chance to work in the Big Apple on Park Avenue. How exciting was that? So I packed up my bags, not moving to Beverly Hills, but moving to New York to take advantage of this opportunity, but realized it was such a culture shock. So I thought about who do I know even in the Northeast. So I knew one person that I went to college with, high school with, and met up with her, and she helped me go for my interview, and I ended up living in New Jersey now. So I am a person that just looks at my life and looks at not the deficits but at the assets. So I don't get down with deficit thinking. I really think about who I am in terms of what I have and what my capacity is. So I've always been this young person who was thoughtful, who loved to chat and talk. Not necessarily with other people outside of my family, but I really love to talk and I love to read and I love to be adventurous. But somewhere along the line, I got more bolder in that and more courageous to speak out and to speak up. Around ninth grade is when I really took a hold of who I am in terms of a leader and began to run for student council and figured out that I could motivate and inspire people and make them feel empowered. And I could make good decisions and I could get people to work together. And that was exciting for me. So I got a position as president of my freshman class in high school. And I continued on to ultimately become the student body president. And along the way, have some fun. So I entered in contests and had a great time. The first contest I entered was a beauty pageant. Yes, indeed. I'm a queen, indeed. And I really was not that gung-ho about it. I, in fact, wanted not to do it. And my mom told me, she set me aside and she said, look, you are just as good as anyone. And you don't let anyone tell you any different. You're talented than most of those girls. You are more intelligent than most of those girls. Why don't you think you can compete? And I told her, I said, beauty pageants are for skinny girls. What do I look like joining a beauty pageant? Are you kidding me? And she said, you could do it. In fact, I'll be there to pick you up after school. It's not about what you can do or want to do. I'll just see you after school. So there I was. You got to do what mama says. And I tried out and I made the final cut and actually won the competition. It became Oak Ridge High School 1991 Miss Pathfinder. That was a very enriching, enlightening experience for me. It not only showed me that I could do anything I put my mind to, but it also showed me the ugly side of people too. When people don't value and appreciate who you are, how you look. So, winning that contest, most people don't even know the reaction and the consequences and what people think about you. But it was not an easy journey for me. And people didn't want to see me win. But it wasn't what they wanted. It was what I wanted and what I believed I could do. And I remember after winning, getting feedback from friends and family members and really being excited on one hand and then just thinking about what people were saying, like, how could she win? I had my daughters been, training all their lives to be pageant winners and different things. And it was really, really disappointing to see sometimes what people can do and how they could try to hurt you. But on the flip side, I remember also after that competition being interviewed by a reporter. And they asked me the question, you don't fit the role or the mold for someone who's a student body president or a Miss Pathfinder. And I was only 16 thinking, why would you even ask me a question like that? And I remember that my response was to him that when people see who you are from the inside out, it's a lot easier for them to accept you and they can see the beauty if you have it within you. And he was shocked to hear that answer. I was shocked to give the answer and realized later in life as a 16-year-old, where could I muster up that confidence to say that? And it was because it was a way of being for me. I was always that person who just lived life in a way that I wanted to embrace humanity, love people, and just have fun doing it. So when I did that and realized that that was a way of being for me, that's how I lived my life. It influenced the career path. It influenced my educational journey. So I decided to study advertising and communications so that I could be able to communicate with folks, inspire folks, motivate folks, and even be a little persuasive if I needed to be. And I thought that was a part of what I needed to do. I also knew that I love people and I'm a people person. And so I also believed in justice. I believed in fairness. I believed in equity. And in fact, because of that, I got the name Liz X from some of my peers. Not that I was militant in any kind of way, but I was determined. And if I saw a wrong, I wanted to make sure that it was right and that people got a fair chance. And I'm a child of a mother who was an NAACP member at the age of 15. And so I grew up in a household of fighters. My father was a military kid. He grew up to be a firefighter in the military. He was in the Air Force. And so they both worked very hard, and they showed me that I could do anything I wanted to do. They never ever let me think or believe that there was something wrong with me or there was a problem with the way that I look or what I did in life. And so because of that, I always encourage other people. And in fact, I realized as I look back over my life, all of my friends and those who are nearest and dearest to me, even my spouse, my partner in life, are introverts. These people are quiet and to themselves, and I'm the one with the big mouth and all the excitement bringing it to the table. But in a way that I don't overpower or overshadow who they are, but I welcome them into my world, and it's exciting for us. It's a great exchange. So I tend to dwell in both of those worlds. After all, I started out being a little bit introverted until I, got into high school. So I understand what it's like to be within yourself and to be quiet and just want to be in a space sometimes and be present and learn in your own way and absorb the world around you and not say a thing. But I also know what it's like to not have a space to be able to vocalize who you are. And so I always welcome people to live in front of me the way that they are, to be their authentic self. And that's who I am. I'm a person that enjoys that. And whatever I do, I show up as my authentic self, and I appreciate it when others can show me their authentic self.